WC reader, and welcome back to my channel. Today I just wanted to do a quick video talking about my least favorite romance tropes. So I'm not like a tropey reader in general. When I go to pick up a romance, I go more for because the plot sounds interesting, or it has a particular setting that I'm really interested in. Like I like tropical settings, or it's set during a specific time that I'm interested in. Like I really enjoy Christmas romance, and I will look for a lot of romance that is set during that time, especially in the month of December or around that time. So I'm more of a setting and like plot type of person. I don't so much check as for tropes, which I know a lot of people do, and I know lately it's been a big discussion, like where some of us are like tired of trope first marketing, and then some people are like, oh my gosh, but they should put the tropes on the back of the book so you know exactly what you're getting. And I have mixed feelings about that, because I don't necessarily feel like trope first is the way to go, because then it takes the emphasis off the characters, which tropes are fine, but everybody has to use tropes. We wouldn't have books without tropes, but characters are also very important, and having a specific trope doesn't always mean great execution, like in these tropes that I will be talking about now. So one of my least favorite tropes is the surprise pregnancy. I would rather go into a book knowing that pregnancy is going to be involved than go into a book and I'm like reading it and really enjoying the couple, or they're just getting to know each other and then bam, she's pregnant. And then I find that it always kind of forces them together, and they even have an argument about it where it's like, do you actually love me for me, or do you love me because I'm having your baby? And obviously it's because you're having his baby. Like that's usually why they end up together, because most of the time when I read it, it's like strangers. They didn't really know each other. Sometimes it's like a one-night stand. Sometimes they just started dating. Oftentimes it's a one-night stand, which is even worse, because like who wants to be forced together after having a one-night stand? Like this was supposed to be a one-time, that's having fun type of thing. And I'm like, I'd rather see people fall in love without having that in place to kind of force them into being each other's proximity. It's not cute to me. And then like going off of like the surprise pregnancy, secret child is another one I hate. Secret child isn't necessarily surprise pregnancy. Usually with secret child, the child is not like a baby. They're usually like a little bit older, and that's even worse to me because, you know, one of the biggest problems I have with secret child is it's like there's never really a good reason why the woman is hiding the child from the man. Like I've never read one yet where the reason was good. And like a lot of times the woman is often on her high horse about hiding the child, like she did nothing wrong. And it's like, you literally hid his child from him for no reason for years. Like he missed out on a couple of years of his child's life because of you, because you were like jealous or something, or you didn't want to sit down and actually have a conversation with him. And it's just so unfair because the man is never like allowed to be mad either. And that's kind of weird to me. The one time I read it where the man like found out and then got like angry, then they tried to blame it on like he was a football player and he had that disease that his name is escaping me right now, where it like affects your brain after you get hit so many times. And I'm like, and they were like, oh, that was out of character for him, because if he didn't have that, he would have never reacted like that. And I'm like, but that was a normal reaction for him to get angry and upset and like yell at her. Like who's not going to be highly emotional when you find out that you have this child whose life you've been missing this whole time? Or at least a good man should be upset. And you would hope that that the man reacted strongly about it. And then like they just kind of usually ease into becoming this nice happy family with no problem, easily move past that, never have any trust issues, and then usually end up breaking up for some other stupid reason. And because third act breakup is a thing that romance feels that they must have, which gets into the next trope I hate, which is about the miscommunication trope. It is overused to death, and I really wish that people would use it less and find different drama. There's plenty of other drama that you can use to cause conflict between a couple. The worst for me is when miscommunication trope is used in very low heat romances. Like they break up because the main character sees him hugging some woman later to find out that that woman was actually his sister, or like they just can't communicate their feelings throughout the whole book and they eventually break up over it. I read one like that really got on my nerves, because it's like when you don't have like the other things involved, communication is so key to making your story work. If you don't have like sex or something like to pad the story, you're not doing like fun like activities, then I want to see them have great conversations, because I want to understand why they love each other beyond physical attraction. And I just think some people are doing it really overboard. They're finding really contrived reasons to include this trope, and it's not necessarily working, and the book ends up falling flat. So then one of the other ones that I don't like is the student-teacher trope. I just find it gross. I find it gross in real life. I find it gross in books. I find it gross in TV shows and movies. I just don't find it very realistic that a teacher would throw away their reputation, which is really like their main like thing about their occupation, because most people aren't teaching for the money. Like, it's not great. So you're gonna throw away your good reputation for a quick fuck with the student. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And there's that power imbalance that I don't like. I don't care if the character is like in their early 20s and it's their like professor. Like, it's disgusting and gross, and I had a problem with that too. Like where it was like this romance between this college professor and their student, and again the power dynamics were off. I didn't like that they were inviting them to their house for like extra credit and stuff, and it kind of went there. And then like I once came across one that name I can't remember, where it was being played more like the student was the really pushy one too in the situation, and that also didn't sit right with me. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this student-teacher trope. It can go away. And then the next one I kind of plays into Insta Love, which is not my favorite. Insta Love is very, very hit and miss for me. Sometimes I'm all for it, sometimes not so much. I mean, I guess like in general when you're reading romance, like a lot of stories, they kind of have that quick connection. But when it really falls flat for me is a lot of times in Christmas romance, which I like Christmas romances, but they'll try to do this thing where they have the couple be engaged at the end of the book, and it's like they met 4 weeks before. So like they'll meet right before they might, if we're lucky, they meet right before Thanksgiving. That tends to be when a lot of these stories take place. And then all of a sudden they'll be engaged to be married on Christmas, and I'm like, but the proposal felt so hollow to me. Like, I really liked this new romance. I thought it was cute, but I just don't buy that they're so in love that they're ready to take this next step and get married, and they barely know each other. They're still getting to know each other. It feels a little forced to me. I've also read books where they got engaged after like 2 weeks, and I'm like, how well do you really know the person to decide you're gonna spend their whole life with them? Like, that's a bit extreme. And it tends to like kill what was like a really cute story for me when they just force this engagement just because. I don't mind like a an epilogue where it's like 1 year later they got engaged, but a few weeks after meeting, just because you think that these types of stories need to end in proposal does not sit right with me. So let me know what some of your least favorite tropes are in the comment section below. If you like this video, make sure and hit that like button. Stay subscribed for similar videos like it. And as always, thanks so much for watching. I will check in with you guys soon. Bye!